Have you ever felt like your social life has these unwritten rules? Like there's a hidden economy at play that nobody ever talks about? Well, today we're diving deep into that exact idea with a really cool lens: economics as anthropology. So, let's just kick things off with a pretty wild question. Is your friends group an economy? I know, it sounds a little strange, but stick with me because the answer might completely change how you look at your relationships. To even begin to answer that, we need a whole new way of thinking. Imagine every single social interaction, a joke, a compliment, an argument, as a trade on a stock market. Let's call it the social stock market.
Yeah, the core idea we're exploring today is pretty radical. What if all the little power plays, the inside jokes, and even the shifting loyalties in your social circle could be mapped out using the clear, maybe even cold, language of economics?
So where does an idea like this even come from? It all starts with a huge shift in perspective, a concept we're going to call anthropology on ourselves.
The whole framework really hinges on this one powerful statement. Economics is a form of anthropology that humans perform on themselves. Just let that sink in for a second. It kind of reframes everything, right?
So what does that really mean? It means we're basically turning the microscope around. Instead of studying some distant culture, we're analyzing our own relationships and social habits like they're a bustling marketplace, with its own unique rules and, you guessed it, its own currencies.
And this whole framework, it doesn't start with your friend group. Oh no, it starts way bigger, at the most fundamental level of society, and what our source calls the romantic economy.
Now hold on. The word romantic here isn't just about candlelit dinners and dating. Not at all. It's used in a much, much broader sense. It describes the foundational, often unspoken agreements that are like the bedrock of our society. Specifically, the source points to two huge building blocks: sexual relationships and legal relationships, like marriage. These are framed as some of the first social contracts, the earliest transactions that start weaving the fabric of a culture together.
Let's put it side by side to make it super clear. A traditional transaction is pretty straightforward, right? You exchange goods for money. Simple. But a romantic transaction, well, that could be an exchange of emotional support for long-term stability. It's a totally different kind of value, but it is still an exchange.
Okay, so that's the big picture theory, but how does this actually play out in our day-to-day lives? Let's zoom way in, down to the micro level, and talk about something we can call the currency of cool. See, inside our friend groups, we're not usually trading cash or stocks. We are constantly exchanging a much more subtle, unwritten, and sometimes brutal currency: status.
Think about it for a second. Have you ever been in a conversation and you just felt your social standing, your personal stock price, if you will, rise or fall based on one little comment? It's a really common and, let's be honest, often unsettling feeling.
So how does a transaction like this actually work? Let's break down a simple, everyday moment and analyze it as a friendly transaction.
Okay, picture this. You're hanging out with your friends, and one of them says something just incredibly witty or sharp. You know that moment. Everyone laughs or nods, and there's this immediate, unspoken agreement that, wow, that was a great comment.
So from our new economic perspective, here's what just happened. Step 1. The cool comment is made. Step 2. Your friend's social status, their stock, just went up. It appreciated in value. Now here's the crucial part, step 3. Your status depreciates relatively. You didn't do anything wrong, but in comparison to them, your standing in that exact moment just shifted.
And you can see it right here. Your friend's status bar just shot up. Yours didn't necessarily go down in any absolute sense, but look at the difference now. That gap? That's the relative shift in action.
It all boils down to that key idea. One status has depreciated relatively. It's not about you losing value, it's about the constant, fluid comparison between all the players in this little social market.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, first, every friend group is basically a microeconomy with its own invisible market forces. Second, status isn't just about being popular, it's a real, fluid currency that's constantly being exchanged. And finally, and this is a big one, our social value is almost never absolute. It's always being measured against the people we're with in that moment.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about. If status is a currency, what kind do you trade in? Are you valued for being the funniest one, the smartest, the most reliable? What's the currency that defines your social economy?